What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. And today we're going to talk about a player that we're being heavily linked with for a January move, Brentford striker Ivan Toney. And I'm going to say why I believe Arsenal should sign Ivan Toney this January. A lot of people have been saying they want to see Arsenal sign him. There are some fans, a small minority, that are saying we should aim higher, that he's not maybe the level that we should be going for. I'm going to give you my opinion. I want your opinions in the comments after this video. Let me know whether you would take Ivan Toney. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Let's get into it. Why do I think Arsenal should sign Ivan Toney? I think he is the ideal alternative to the qualities that we've got at Arsenal at the moment. He offers us that plan B, that ability to be more direct, that powerful striker that can hold up the ball, that can score headers, that is a quality goal scorer, that has that hunger, I believe, to prove himself on the top level. Ivan Toney has gone the long way round, people. He's 27 years of age. He made it at Northampton Town, got the move to Newcastle United. You know, you've got that move to the top, and it didn't work for him. He came sprawling down the leagues, a number of loan moves, ended up at Peterborough United in League One. You've got to start again, rebuild yourself. Very difficult. 16 goals in his first season. Second season, 24 goals, and he gets that move. Goes to the Championship, to Brentford. Can you do it in the Championship? First season, 33 goals, 10 assists, breaks the record in the Championship and gets Brentford into the Premier League for the first time in their history. So you bet he can do it. Goes to the Premier League, first season, 12 goals, 5 assists, respectable. Brentford finished mid-table. Last season, 20 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League. He was captain at times for Brentford as well. He also was picked in the England national team. Okay, now some people are cherry picking. 6 penalties, 14 goals from open play. But penalties are not freebies. They're not open goals. I would argue that a penalty is more difficult than a tap-in, you know. So I don't think we should dismiss them. This guy has got such a well-rounded game. In fact, we saw it against Arsenal. An incredible record. He won 10 out of 10 aerial duels against William Saliba at the Emirates last season when playing against Ivan Toney. He bullied Saliba, and I haven't even seen Haaland bully Saliba like that. Can he do it in big games, against the big teams, against the top 4 in the Premier League last season? Manchester City, away from home, he scored 2 goals. They beat Man City 2-1 that day. He scored 2 goals in that game. He scored at the Emirates when they drew 1-1 against Arsenal. He scored at home against Newcastle, and he got 2 assists in the 4-0 hammering of Manchester United. So he can perform against the top clubs as well. He's 27. He's at the peak of his career. He's got the hold-up play, the physical presence, the finishing ability. And I believe he would be a brilliant alternative to what we've currently got at Arsenal through the middle. Gabriel Jesus is a quality player. Fantastic all-round game. Brilliant link-up play. Improves players around it. He has never scored more than 14 goals in a Premier League season. He's also had 2 operations on the same knee in just over a year at Arsenal. That is a worry. Is that knee going to be able to cope with Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup and FA Cup? Maybe 50 games this season. That is the worry. The alternative, Eddie Nketiah, 4 Premier League goals last season. I think has shown he's a capable Premier League player, but he's not going to lead Arsenal to any great glory. He doesn't improve the wingers. You know, he's a fox in the box. He's looking for tapping. He's a poacher. But he's not the level that Arsenal require if they want to catch Manchester City. They need a goal scorer if they're going to catch Manchester City. So for me, Ivan Toney, he fits the profile. He's strong. He can finish. He knows the Premier League. He's hungry to succeed. He wants to play for Arsenal, and he's gettable in the next window. Is he world class? Nobody's saying that. But do you need a world-class striker to win the Premier League? Not necessarily. You need somebody that can contribute. If Jesus can get you 10, 15 and Toney gets you 15 to 20, that might be enough to get you the league or get you closer to Manchester City. So for me, Ivan Toney is a no-brainer. 60, 70 million, knows the league, hungry, and I think he improves this team absolutely, and I would definitely go for him in the January transfer window. Let's talk about the alternatives, because there are some of you that don't believe he's quite good enough, that we could get somebody better or somebody younger. Let's look at the alternatives. I mean, the dream is Kylian Mbappe. I once asked Mikel Arteta in a press conference, as if you don't know, and he dismissed it pretty quickly. Of course, we're not getting Mbappe. He earns £1 million a week. He's going to go to Real Madrid, so we can, cross that one off the list. I think the big name that everybody would like Arsenal to go for is Victor Osimhen. 24-year-old Nigerian international striker, plays for Napoli, has spoken before of his admiration for Arsenal as well. In fact, Arsene Wenger tried to sign him before he went to Napoli, another one that we just missed out on. Now, Osimhen's going through a situation at the moment at Napoli that possibly opens the door for a move. Last weekend, he missed a penalty. He was substituted later on in the game. He had a meltdown on the pitch and an argument off the pitch with the manager. You miss a penalty, you're desperate to make up for it. They went on to draw that game and he was massively frustrated. Napoli's TikTok account then puts out a video mocking his penalty miss, basically laughing at the fact that he missed a penalty. They later went on to delete the video, but millions of people had already saw it, screenshotted it, screen recorded it, whatever. It's led now to Victor Osimhen's agent saying he's going to sue Napoli. And, of course, this is now opening the door to potential transfer rumours. Now, I would love Arsenal to sign Osimhen. He's 24. He's 3 years younger than Ivan Toney. His potential is through the roof. He's doing it in the Champions League. He's doing it in Serie A. 5 goals in 6 Champions League games last season. He's proved that he can do it in Europe. 26 league goals in Serie A last season. The problem is they want £130 million for him. Can Arsenal drop that kind of money on Napoli? Not no Klarna, no layaway payment plan. Napoli want the majority of that money up front in one payment. Very difficult deal to get done. The other problem with Victor Osimhen, you're going to have huge amounts of competition for him. PSG wanted him last summer. Chelsea were interested. Manchester United were interested. Clubs around Europe will be in for him. This will be a much more difficult deal to get done than Ivan Toney, who I think we would be the favourites to get in January. So Victor Osimhen also had an offer from Saudi in the summer from Al Hilal that was €1 million a week wages. Now, I would imagine his agent will use that as leverage for any other club that comes in. He's not going to get $1 million in Europe, but he's going to expect a massive wage off whoever signs him. Are Arsenal going to pay £500,000 a week? Are they going to pay £130 million? Is Edu capable of negotiating a deal like that with Napoli? They're one of the most difficult clubs in Europe to negotiate big deals with. So Osimhen would be fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I would love Arsenal to sign him. I just think it's a 10 times more difficult deal to get done. And also, I don't think you probably end up getting him until the end of the season, where I would love Arsenal to get a striker in January. The third one and the final one, Daily Dusan. I spoke about this guy every day of a January window 2 years ago. Dusan Vlahovic, I've seen a lot of people saying that we should go back in for him. And again, I think this is a very difficult deal to get done. Dusan Vlahovic was being linked with a move in the summer. He went to Juventus 18 months ago. Big money, €70 million from Fiorentina, rejected Arsenal to go to Juventus. He said Juventus was his dream club to go to. In his first half of season, 7 goals in 15 games, not too bad. But last season, just 10 goals in 27 games that led to Juventus fans saying he was a waste of money. They needed an upgrade. Juventus were willing to swap him for Lukaku in the summer if Chelsea would have paid £40 million on top. Chelsea were not willing to pay the £40 million, and he stayed. Now he has started the season off well. 4 goals in his opening 6 games and 1 assist. He seems to have settled into their team now. Allegri's style of football was difficult for him to adjust to. Now he's scoring goals. Now Juventus are happy with him. There's also talk of a potential contract extension. So it doesn't look like Vlahovic is available. He doesn't want to leave. and they don't want to sell him. In fact, they're looking at extending his contract. Outside of Toney, Vlahovic and Osimhen, I don't think there is an alternative that is necessarily better. If there is anybody, you let me know in the comments and we'll consider them as well. So for me, Ivan Toney is the one. 60, 70 million. 27 years of age. Knows the Premier League. A superb hold-up play and wants to be at Arsenal. Vlahovic doesn't want to be at Arsenal. Osimhen, I'm not sure you can get him ahead of the other clubs that are going to try and get him. Mbappe, we can only dream. That's not going to happen. Osimhen ticks the boxes. Him and Jesus, in my opinion, could even play together. Toney plays higher up the pitch. Jesus drops in deep. Or you rotate them for different types of games. It's a no-brainer, Arsenal. Get Ivan Toney to the carpet. Let me know what you think about what we've discussed today and the alternatives to Ivan Toney. Do you think we should go for him? Would you pay 60, 70 million for him? Would you rather break the bank for Osimhen, but do you believe Arsenal could get that deal done? Would you go for Vlahovic, or do you have another name? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like the video and subscribe. Get Ivan Toney to the carpet, people. Bless.